Okay, Cancer, take a break. All right. We have just survived one of the wildest energetic storms of the season. Okay. Mercury has officially gone retrograde. That full moon, it shook up our stability, y'all. And now Jupiter, Big Daddy Jupiter, the planet of blessings, is slamming on the brakes in our sign, Cancer. Okay. What happens this week could really rewrite your story, but only if Cancer, you stop resisting the lesson. Okay, so let's see what's unfolding for you in the upcoming week, shall we? Welcome back to the Cancerian vibe, you guys. I am the spiritual bridge. Like I said, this is the Cancerian vibe. This is your one-stop shop, you guys, for your astrology, your tarot insights, intuitive insights. If you have Cancerian placements anywhere and you resonate with the Cancer energy, babe, you have home here. Okay, you got family here. So if you just happen to be new, go ahead, hit that subscribe button so you never ever miss when spirit calls your name. Okay, and just a quick PSA for those of you that don't know, if you happen to see my content anywhere other than at the Cancerian vibe, you guys, it is stolen. Please report it and do not support it, you guys. Protect yourself, protect your energy, protect your money, okay? And only trust my official links below. Only trust my official sites, okay? My official TikTok and Instagram sites are at the Cancerian vibe, and you'll see this logo. If you don't see this logo, get out of there, okay? But you guys, this week's Astro Tea is big, okay? Because it's kicking off the week. We're starting November 11th, 11/11, okay? Jupiter's retrograde in our sign, Cancer. And so, Jupiter has been blessing our sign all year, not really all year, the second half of the year. But, Jupiter has been expanding your faith, your finances, your vision. But now Spirit wants you to kind of pause and integrate this growth that's been happening. And so I feel like between now and like February, you're going to revisit what abundance really actually means for you, Cancer. Watch for people or opportunities that are gonna kind of circle back around to test your discernment. Okay, it's almost like Spirit's just trying to see how you gonna move this time. Now that you know better, are you gonna do better? You know what I mean? And I'm telling you, this is on top of a Mercury retrograde, so there's definitely something Spirit is saying. Double check your work. Just go back and double check. You know how Santa checks his list twice, honey. Just give yourself a little extra what they say, for imprint certain, honey. Look, I should get a check. But anyway, what else we got this week? We got a last quarter moon in the sign of Leo, you guys. That's happening the next day, November the 12th. That's gonna hit Cancer. Cancer placements is gonna hit us in our second house, depending on your rising sign, y'all. That's why you gotta put your big 3 in the comment section so I can tell you where else this be hitting and what's going on. But just as a general overhaul, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, right? This is going to hit us in our second house of money, okay? Money and value. And this last quarter moon, I feel like is going to push us to decide, what's really worth our energy, Cancer, or, what's really draining me. And that's going to be the moment, like, you got to trade in the tickets for the skate, right? It's going to be like, that's when you finally let go. That last quarter, it's a final countdown, okay? Then towards the end of the week, or November 15th, Vesta is going to be entering the sign of Capricorn, y'all. And so this, this looks like partnerships, and kind of like this theme of devotion is going to kind of come up. You're going to be learning what commitment really looks like, and not just in love, y'all, but really when it comes to your purpose. I'm seeing that card, you're being tested, or your faith, that your purpose or vision is being tested. That's what I'm seeing, Cancer. So this is what that commitment looks like. I feel like, Spirit saying, oh, you want that? Are you really going to commit to it? And so, in short, Cancer, I feel like this week's message is really all about, realignment and just slowing down to move forward better, to move forward smarter. And that's just going to be the trick of it. Okay. If you want to see how this Jupiter retrograde is affecting you personally, you can book an overall energy reading or a prosperity blueprint, you guys. Link below in the description and pinned comment section, okay? While you're down in my comment section, leave me a Cancer emoji or a crab emoji in the comments so I know that you are checking in, okay? Checking in with the vibes this week, you guys. Don't forget to leave me some good energy on that like button, that thumbs up button. I really appreciate you. If you really down with the cause, hit that hype button for me. I truly appreciate you, okay? But we're gonna get into the vibes for the week ahead. What are Cancer's vibes telling Cancer for the week ahead? What's the overall energetic vibe for Cancer's week? All right, so look, surrender. This energy of, look, Spirit is saying just kind of sit back. This is sit back in the passenger seat. Don't be a backseat driver. Just really kind of surrender to how Spirit is working and moving around this week, okay? Surrender showing up, and know that at the bottom of the deck we have protection. So underlying, Spirit is saying that no matter what's happening, Cancer, no matter what's happening, what's going on this week, you are protected, okay? So you have nothing to worry about. The message, Cancer, really, you got to stop fighting what's trying to change, what's trying to shift, okay? The universe is already rearranging things in your favor. And I feel like, you know, this Jupiter retrograde in our sign is really asking for us to be like spiritually mature. You know what I mean? You got to just trust that. You got to trust the bigger plan, even when it doesn't look like there's progress happening. You know what I mean? Like, surrender isn't about being weak. You know, it's more so the power through your faith, right? And this can play out in real life, like some type of delay happening, some type of detour, or, you know, a very divine pause that happens in a situation where, you know, maybe a plan stalls, or something or someone pulls back, or a door that you thought was open, you know, suddenly kind of closes, right? But I'm telling you, at the end of the day, it's protection. Like, you are being protected. And I feel like Spirit is trying to protect you from some anxiety, because I definitely picked up this energy. That's why I moved this card. And I was like, yeah, it got to be the anxiety card. Because I feel like Spirit is trying to, the rejection is protection, okay? Spirit is trying to protect you from something that, you know, trying to block you from something that's just not aligned for you, you know? I feel like this week's about remembering that rejection is redirection, okay? You are not losing. You are being divinely protected, okay? And this Jupiter retrograde is going to teach you how to trust again, how to, like, loosen up your grip, you know, our little claws, Cancer, on things that aren't necessarily serving us anymore. We could just be holding it out of comfort, holding it out of muscle memory, right? And Spirit is just asking you to loosen up your hands. I'm trying to give you something bigger. I'm trying to give you something better, right? So let's pull some tarot for... We're going to look at the potential challenge of this upcoming week, Cancer. You know, with Mercury being retrograde, Jupiter going retrograde, what's the potential challenge that Cancer is facing this upcoming week? So we got the King of Pentacles popping out. Interesting, this masculine energy. And I'm telling you, the masculine, the message I'm getting off the bat, Cancer, with this masculine energy is kind of like action and active. And I feel like, you know, the overall message or trying to tell you to do is sit down and rest, surrender. But I feel like you feel some kind of maybe obligation, or, like I said, the anxiety for some type of structure. Like you need some type of structure or control, especially with the Emperor showing up here at the bottom of the deck too, Cancer. It's like, yeah, for some of you, these are people. The Emperor here at the bottom of the deck, this King of Pentacles, this could, you know, this could be a boss. This could be, you know, a masculine energy, someone that you feel has some type of power or control over you, Cancer. That could be the challenge here. There could be some miscommunication in those relationships. But, yeah, this week's test is going to be that control for sure. I feel like, you know, you got to stay grounded. and your authority without trying to micromanage everything that's happening around you, everything that's shifting or changing. And this King of Pentacles really represents kind of that mastery or that stability, okay? And the King of Pentacles are tangible. These are things that you can see, feel, okay? I'm gonna tell you though, don't cling too tightly to what you may have already built. Just because you built it before, it was your baby before, don't cling too tightly to things. Because yeah, this Jupiter retrograde, I feel like is gonna be kind of like humbling all the signs, not just us, Cancer. Don't think just because Jupiter is in our sign and it's retrograde, it's gonna be like negative just towards us, but it's really gonna humble all of us, but especially us, and just kind of remind us, you know, that this real security comes from faith, you know, and not you trying to force something or trying to control something. This, I feel like, is where spirit checks, you know, checks how you're holding on to things. All right. Check your grip. You know, you have been bossing up. You've been trying to hold it all together. You've been trying to, you know, control it all in your career, your relationships, and your emotions. But Cancer, this week, I feel like, you know, the universe might throw you a curveball that's really going to test your patience, you know. And that this Emperor tells me that you want control. You want control. You do. But the King of Pentacles reminds you that the true power is going to be within, like, just having your kind of like your confidence, okay? Like that anxiety, that energy of anxiety is not going to be your friend. That energy of your confidence and your faith, just knowing that things are working out in your benefit, that's what's going to be your bread and butter this week, Cancer. But let's ask how to navigate the week ahead. How does Cancer best navigate this upcoming week? So we got the Six of Wands showing up. Interesting, the Five of Pentacles showing up here at the bottom of the deck. And like I said, for some of you, this challenge could be an actual person. For some of you, I feel like this person could be a challenge because they feel like you left them behind, Cancer. They feel like you left them out, maybe. There may have been some type of miscommunication there, an emotional kind of letdown. But I feel like with this Six of Wands, Cancer, you know, even if it, I'm gonna tell you this, even if it feels cold outside this week, Cancer, even if it feels like you're losing, you gotta walk like you have already won, okay? Because this Six of Wands is victory. Okay, this Six of Wands is validation. This Six of Wands is public recognition too, Cancer. But with this Five of Pentacles energy showing up underneath, I feel like it reveals this shadow kind of you having maybe some type of imposter syndrome that could be coming up for you this week, Cancer. This energy just kind of creeping in right before your breakthrough. You know how that happens? It's like, you know, it tries to make you quit and you're right at that point, that turning point. I feel like, you know, Spirit is saying, you can't let the temporary discomfort convince you that you're not making progress, okay? You have to believe that you're making progress even if it doesn't look like it, Cancer, okay? Because the energy around you is very much shifting fast. And I definitely feel like you're about to be seen. You're about to be celebrated. You're about to be finally acknowledged for something that you have been working on quietly behind the scenes, right? But this Five of Pentacles, it definitely just has this underlying energy of how doubt is going to try to creep in. It's going to try to sneak right in before the success hits. Do not count yourself out, Cancer, because the applause is coming. And I'm not saying that you're just doing it for applause, but don't count yourself out before the applause even happens. It's like, you know, you go out onto the what's the stage? Dang. Apollo stage. Yeah, you go out onto the Apollo stage and you just assume that they finna boo you, and so you walk off the stage before anything happens, right? And so you're just sabotaging yourself. That's what I feel like this underlying energy of this Five of Pentacles. But some of you, I feel like this situation, somebody feels like you left them out in the cold or you rejected them, and that could have been, you know, a very necessary situation, Cancer. You know what I mean? Because if that person was stunting your growth or preventing you from evolving, moving forward, then, hey, so be it, okay? Sayonara. Just saying. But we're going to tap into the love vibes. Let's look at the energy surrounding love and relationships. Because especially with that Leo moon influence, Vesta entering Capricorn. What's love looking like for Cancer this upcoming week, Spirit? Ooh, interesting. So, okay, right. And I'm telling you, this King of Pentacles, for some of you, this is that player. This is that underlying energy. This is that masculine energy. And I feel like, you know, there's a Cancer that resonates with the fact that you're focusing on yourself, okay? You kind of let it go. I feel like for some of you, you may have been fighting for a connection or a relationship with someone that didn't have the same intentions as you, and so now you're kind of focused on yourself. But even with this self-focus, some of you could definitely be in committed relationships, right? This energy of self-focus popping up. I feel like, you know, Spirit, this is kind of the residue of these retrogrades. This is the byproduct of what Spirit is asking you to do, to be reflective, you know? I'm gonna tell you this week you better choose peace over passion, okay? And choose the truth over the chaos, all right? Because yeah, with this self-focus card, y'all, this is just definitely a reminder that not everybody deserves, you know, front row access to your energy, Cancer, especially while Mercury is retrograde and Jupiter is retrograde, and they're pulling out these old faces and familiar patterns back into your orbit. They're making that relevant again. Spirit is saying don't fall for it, okay? Remember I told you to be aware of the universe kind of throwing something back in your face just to test you to see how you are going to respond, okay? I feel like, you know, this week isn't about you trying to chase a connection, but it is more so about you reconnecting with yourself. And that's your most important relationship, whether you're coupled up or single. Your most important relationship is the one with yourself. And I feel like, you know, you're being guided to kind of pull back your energy, pull back your vibe, and recharge, and just remember your worth, Cancer. You know what I mean? If somebody resurfaces or tries to like flirt their way back in, or yeah, pay attention to their actions, okay? Pay attention to their actions, not their words, and especially don't make any type of you know, permanent decisions during this time about this relationship. But Mercury retrograde is known for recycling energy that no longer fits. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, Cancer, but I do feel like for some of you, some Cancer out there is going to be a flirtatious ex. This could be a new admirer for some of you as well, Cancer, but this is very much for somebody, an ex that's very flirtatious, very charismatic. But this energy kind of feels very temporary or very surface level, very kind of, you know, it doesn't give certain, okay? So I feel like Spirit is urging you not to kind of confuse the attention that you may get for like actual true affection, right? Because real love is gonna feel consistent, not performative, okay? So I do feel like there's interested energy that you need to be aware of. Like, this is going to be a week for boundaries, okay? This is going to be a week for, remember, you need to be, Spirit has already said self-care is necessary, especially during this retrograde season, okay? The emotional detox and even physical detox that may need to happen, right? This is your glow up that's going to be attracting the genuine energy that you're supposed to be connecting with, right? And not just this performative, this, you know, surface kind of level energy, Cancer. This is you also too learning how to trust your discernment, trust your gut, trust your intuition. And I feel like especially with this 6 of Wands that showed up, y'all, this could definitely, because this energy of you being more visible or like, you know, public audience kind of vibe, this could look like an opportunity or some type of message that shows up, because it's like this person could be trying to pop back around because, you know, they could try to slide in because they're trying to congratulate you for something, or they see, you know, you've made some type of progress or whatever. You know, it doesn't have to be a lover for everyone. This could be a boss that's noticing, you know, that you're being consistent, you know, Cancer, or some type of project that you've been working on. It's finally gaining some type of traction. I I just feel like, yeah, this is a week where definitely people are going to be expressing their appreciation for you, or, you know, expressing it, especially verbally, like showing you your value. But your test is going to be your faith during that final stretch. It's giving like 9 of Wands energy. Okay, but definitely be aware of this player energy. For some of you, it could be this earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Could be that Emperor, that's an Aries. Okay, so and see, that's the energy that I'm feeling. It's unclear, like the relationship is unclear. So, you know, you can't go wrong focusing on yourself. And Spirit is saying just because something's unclear doesn't mean you got to go run down chasing the answers. It's like the more that you focus on yourself, the answers just gravitate to you. Like, you figure it out. Like, that's what Spirit is saying. Work harder for that stability, okay? And stability is clarity. But let's take a beat over and look at your money and career this week, you know, because Jupiter is going retrograde. So we're going to be reevaluating our abundance. So what's going on in money and career this upcoming week, Spirit? Oh, see, I'm telling you, even though it's given opposite day, you know what I mean? Even though Jupiter is going retrograde, and it's technically not a bad thing. It's not supposed to be a bad thing, but, you know, it does talk about how things slow up. But I'm seeing you celebrating something big, and people are going to be celebrating with you or celebrating you, Cancer. Okay, and there's something that I feel like you've accomplished that either you thought you couldn't do, or Spirit is telling you to do that so that you can, so that you can have this celebration. But also too, Cancer, I feel like, you know, we're coming up to the end of the year. I feel like you may not have taken a beat to really celebrate yourself or see the progress that you made, because you're steadily climbing for the next thing, or it's like the next thing that takes your attention. And I feel like Spirit is kind of saying, like, take a break. It's given, you know, it's given when the teacher roll in the TV back in elementary school, and you know you was finna watch a movie, and then y'all get a pizza party, and then you get some popcorn. Like, it's giving that, okay? It's giving that. Like, you deserve a break. You've been working hard all year. We just gonna have a nice little break, okay? I feel like Spirit is basically throwing confetti at you, Cancer. Spirit has set up a surprise party for you, okay? And after that heavy energy of you having to surrender, you know, and but still being protected, but you had to surrender and let go of control earlier. You know what I mean? This is the reminder. This is the confirmation. This is letting you know that your work is paying off, Cancer. Okay, this celebrate card says that you are crossing a milestone, whether this be financially, professionally, or through some type of long-awaited acknowledgement, especially if you're trying to go be visible. This looks like someone going viral, okay? People finally connecting with your message. So, and I'm telling you, yeah, at the bottom of the deck, y'all, this is, I feel like, that Jupiter retrograde energy talking directly to you, okay? This means do not shrink the moment that you are invited into this bigger room. That's where I'm talking about. Don't go in and sabotage yourself, or, you know, that's where this imposter syndrome can try to creep in and make you feel like, oh, you're not ready, or you're not qualified, or you're not worthy. No, Cancer, okay? This week is the time to stop downplaying your success, point blank and period. You have been in grind mode for so long, Cancer, that you almost, I feel like you don't even remember what winning feels like, okay? But I'm telling you, your spirit guides, your angels, they are telling you to celebrate yourself. You need to toast to your growth, toast to your accomplishments, to your resilience, Cancer, okay? And even the things that, you know, didn't go as according to plan. Because I feel like that's a blessing too. That's something to celebrate too, because, you know, that's what's going to make you ready for what's next, what's coming towards you next. So, and when this next opportunity presents itself, say yes, Cancer. Say yes. Even if you think that you're scared, even if you think that you're not ready, even if whatever, say yes. Okay. Say yes to the dress. All right. Because Jupiter's energy will expand whatever you believe that you are worthy of. Whatever you believe that you're worthy of, it comes down to belief. All right. I feel like this is going to look like in real life for somebody. You could see some type of sudden deposit. This could be a refund or some type of rebate that was owed to you, or some type of unexpected income that's coming in for somebody. right? For some of you, this is going to look like finally getting that praise at work, that recognition. Your boss sees you, they see your work, they see your effort. They're like, okay, yeah, we got to give you some more money. Okay. You thought that you were working and ain't nobody was noticing what you was doing, Cancer. No, they were noticing, they were peeping. Okay. I feel like this could be a nudge from the universe to like finally, and I know it's tricky, with this retrograde season, but I do feel like the universe is begging some of you to finally launch something, or apply for something, or invest in something that you may have been afraid to do before. Right. So just know that, it feels like your stability too is kind of catching up with your faith. Right. And you can't let fear talk you out of your breakthrough, Cancer. Point blank, period. You just can't. You can't let fear and anxiety and worry and doubt try to talk you out of your blessings. Right. I think I want to pull one more card. I just want to see the outcome, or like the overall shift by the end of this week. What's the overall outcome for Cancer, or what's the shift that happens? Ooh, I love this. So the King of Pentacles, or Knight of Pentacles, is showing up. So the Pentacles are here, y'all. It definitely gives me a money vibe for the week. Okay. And I do love that the Pentacles are showing up, Cancer. But I feel like with this Knight of Pentacles specifically, this kind of just shows, slow and steady is going to win the race. Like you don't have to let that anxious energy make you feel like you got to rush or, hurry up and do something. The Knight of Pentacles really shows that you are making steady, tangible progress. Even if it's not big and flashy yet, even if it's not fast yet, Cancer, you are definitely rebuilding something stable, something solid, okay? When it comes to, this could be your confidence for some of you. This could definitely be your finances for a lot of you. This could very well just be your peace. You know what I mean? But I'm going to tell you, with this Five of Swords energy showing up here underneath this, the warning is clear. You cannot let comparison or outside noise knock you off your pace. You can't, okay? It will try to get to you, okay? And Spirit is saying, look, you just need to kind of be a fool and Stevie Wonder to whatever anybody has to say or think or whatever, and go about this new opportunity, this new beginning. It's, it's kind of like a reset. By the end of this week, I feel like Spirit's saying that you're going to start to see how much progress you've actually really made. You're going to see it in real time. With the Pentacles being the energy that's showing up or that's heavy, you're going to be able to actually see physical proof. You know how they say like a baby is physical proof that somebody did it. You know what I mean? You're going to have physical proof that you did it too. Like you're going to have a baby. You're not going to have a literal baby. But you're going to have proof, physical proof, okay, of the progress that you're making, right? And, I feel like, especially with this Knight of Pentacles, it represents kind of this steady, very dependable and consistent energy. I feel like this is what Spirit is saying that you want to focus on. There is very inconsistent or, energy around you, so be mindful of that. Right behind that, this energy of align. So Spirit is telling you, look, all you got to do is focus on yourself and get yourself in alignment, and everything else kind of comes towards you, okay? But the chaos, y'all, the drama, the mind games, yeah, no. Okay, that's that Five of Swords energy, and it's just not yours. It's not gonna fly. It's not gonna, no. Let others fight for attention, Cancer. You are fighting for your peace. You are fighting for your purpose, okay? So, I do feel like for some of you, a situation that may have felt unstable, especially maybe around your finances, money, work, or even your emotions, it could be, something's going to start kind of having rhythm again. Like it's going to, slowly but surely, right? Someone may try to provoke you, Cancer. Definitely try to guilt you. That definitely showed up in my in my, I think that was my 72-hour reading. That kind of, if you caught that yesterday, that's playing out now, okay? Because someone definitely may try to provoke or guilt you. But it's like Spirit is asking you to be the bigger person. You be the mature one. And you be silent. It's like the silence is going to be reaction enough. Okay. But the lesson of the week, y'all, is consistency. Consistency is going to beat out the conflict. So, I just feel like the overall week ahead message is to trust the pause that's happening, Cancer. Trust the pause, all right? Because it's preparing you for this new level of power. You are stepping into a more grounded, very self-assured version of yourself, a more confident one that doesn't need external validation to feel secure, even though you're getting it. Even though you're getting it, you don't need it. Okay. But yeah, I think that's what I got for the week, y'all. This week I feel like, just remember that this week is not a setback, all right? Even though we're in retrograde season, this is not a setback, y'all. These retrogrades are helping us kind of refine the blessings that you have already earned. The Leo moon is going to help us release some of that pride, that could be preventing us from moving forward. And that Vesta and Capricorn energy is really going to ask you to commit, to be solid consistently, okay? To what truly, truly matters for you, okay? If this resonated, y'all, don't stop here. You can book an overall energy reading or one of my blueprint sessions with me for a deeper personalized insight into your own situation, your own chart, your own energy, okay? But I'm gonna leave this read here, you guys. Remember to leave me some love on my like button. Talk to me down in the comment section. Leave your Cancer and your crab emojis, okay? Let me know that you're tapped in. But that's what I got for my boos, my fellow Cancerians. In the meantime, in between time, until next time, I love you.